succeeded founder. It was the container originally, people.
Okay, can you pause this? I do that. So it's for. No, I don't think I've ever.
I just write down the name or
I'm chairman of the holdings.
if it was like to the side or something.
Somebody said my name.
Yeah. And then I just looked one time and wrote it down and.
Hello, how are you? All right.
Eric.
Should be able to.
There
you go. With the lens. All right. Yep. Nice to meet you. Hopefully I'll remember that.
Only first question on YouTube, and I know the words that were said, that's how.
In the food weather, because I went on and changed it online and I changed every single thing. Yeah, because he's the only one that.
Yes.
Very known.
Ken,
More than you ever want to do it, yeah. Because I had like.
Ken, I have this. For the, you have, I have one, but you need.
He said.
Well, have you already signed your copy?
Well, he told us that.
You signed all of it. All of that says, okay. I said that's Ed.
You had resume. Not the one that was. Here. Other air.
Hey, Deb.
Here. We.
Hey, here.
Deputy Eric.
And you on the gym, on the office. Oh, yeah. I like how you formatted report. Yeah, so that's right. Let's go. We just put some nice categories. So like.
But everything. I think. Yeah. I did a classic on the original London museums. That's a secret. I don't really close out.
Yeah, there was I got orders this morning. Yeah, I know. So I just hit highlights that thing on the, we just saw that. With the sample, but I got some, yeah, that's nice to know. Yeah. But it's not required, it's on, and that's our thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's spread out over 4 years, it's 20%, so it's minimal. Got like 3,000 a year. I haven't had a chance to read all the documents here yet, it's, yeah, the takeaway is Fed's actually. It's 82,000 and change, but 20% of that's required on us, so it's somewhere around a little over 4,000 a year. The next thing. That's something for Fed to be some long.
So we're.
Yeah, just hit the highlights. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. It's good, it's good stuff done there. Thank you.
You can sit there.
I'll be getting there here. You sit between two there.
Yeah, I have some. I got what you're saying.
Well.
This is the one with somebody else's signature on it already. I don't know. This is the M&G. This,
Probably good.
Tim said that this is all you guys, not her. She doesn't sign any of that, but I don't have any.
Got one.
I tried that.
Well, do we just need one signature?
Yes, you and Larry was a new one, but we have a two commissioner rule, so we can all just sign it.
I got, all right, great.
I figured they were when you roadblock, go around this way.
John, I tried to.
I'm glad to do that. I don't deal with this.
Kevin, turn to use this on the order here.
I gave them folks recently.
Yeah, well, kind of.
First one should be, I guess, message.
Send me.
They said that.
That's what you really got to mention. So, I mean, I don't have to set it on the bottom. This is the, that's the. Yeah. In here, I'm gonna try to find it.
That's the. Second
Got these are all.
Okay, I'll leave it up to you if we did that. Okay. That's, yeah, it's on the second.
Just so you guys know, this is not working.
Okay.
So when we do your attachments, we'll have to, people have to look to the side.
Oh, I. How much better?
Is it dead?
It's something to do with the box and Bill said he thought we had another one, but we can't find it. So just the next one.
Just. It's all go wrong. I wonder if there's potential problems you want to stop. Well, Greg back there with me. I think he's mistaken. Oh, okay. But he's also a commissioner. Oh, okay. He has a commissioner. He can say. You guys start going long.
I'd like to know how you two be in two places at the same time, so.
Very difficult.
I appreciate that.
You're probably gonna find out he's not able to. So. Don't worry, man.
Okay, I got it.
County.
Okay. I understand.
So, since I'm riding with him, right?
Exactly. Since he's your part, you're right.
Respect these things.
Trying to keep this.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just gotta keep busy, right?
Sorry. I know. I think we got a conversation. Starting with that. So I think that's okay. That's so. Maybe. It's just over this year. We try to keep everybody in. There you go. That sounds like.
Better that they have time to do it.
Hey, Mark. Mark, you guys, when this pitch, I can call you up, you explain the 46, that, the whole project? You can, this is your chance. Let's go global with this. This is your 15 minutes.
15 minutes a day.
It's a good note. That's probably faster than anything.
I know, I don't want to hear.
Oh, no, so you should. That's the Yeah, we got. Yeah. Sorry. Give me on it. Easy preach, everything. I don't know if he's here or not. Everything's good. You do?
Then we're gonna go to the-
You vote on that one? You got my vote. Okay. You got my vote. All right.
Oh, then.
You brought that one.
Pretty good.
We're good. It's finally yours, I mean, finally.
Something really.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Next door. Okay, there you go. That's it. Thanks, Ben. Call meeting in order, start with the pledge of allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. All right. Sticking to the agenda here,
Hang on a minute. There's an addition to the agenda or changes.
yes,
I made a mess of the Bridge 91. It actually, I believe, I can stand to be corrected if I'm wrong. I actually believe it is considered Mount Liberty Road. Mount Liberty goes down through there about a half a mile and then hangs a hard left. And then Valley Branch continues on. That's, I think, a change in the agenda. I think it says Valley Branch down there.
on August 20th is the agenda item he's referring to. Yeah, all right.
And then the other thing is, just a quick thing, there's not going to be a public auction on the equipment. We're going to continue to do it the same way it has been done. Eric, go ahead and sell it on gov.com. The Sheriff Department, you just keep on doing the things you've been doing. That's it for that.
Additional change on the vote center resolution. It's really not vote center, it's early voting location, and we've selected a voting location, so we'll vote on that, make it kind of official. So that's the other change. And then on the Salt Creek Trail feasibility study, I think we're changing from 18,000 not to exceed 20,000, I believe is minor change. So I got that. I think that's it. And also towards the end of the meeting, while I was opening it up for questions, typically the intent of that is we go through the agenda. Sometimes it's pretty action packed, I'd call it. So if you catch something that, you had a question that comes up later before we close out, feel free to ask the question. And we'll provide any more detail you want. Anything that's not on the agenda, commissioners always stick around and you can ask us anything you want on that one. So that's that. That's the changes to the agenda. Okay, approval of minutes and claims.
So I've gone through them, Ron, did you get a chance?
Yeah, I had some questions and got them answered. It always shocks me on how much money we go through. Can I make a motion and go through it?
Okay,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Okay. On new business, kind of gets interesting because we got into our budget. We talked about the Humane Society, the different funds allocated to that that we budget, and then we came across the dog tax and that fund. So it's always interesting when you go back to the budget, it's like a history lesson. So one thing led to another, led to another, led to another. And so we're just teeing that up for discussion. It's a county council ordinance, but we have some issues and want to discuss different options and a little history on that. So Teresa, you want to cut loose on the dog tax?
yes. But we're not recording.
Okay.
It's like the, no.
Technical difficulties.
Can somebody go downstairs and get Eric? Can somebody hear me? Mark, will you go get Eric, please?
Which Mark?
You want me to continue or? Continue?
It's being streamed on YouTube, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, we'll
There,
yeah.
we'll continue.
It's just not boxes. Okay, so dog tax.
Your mic on, yeah.
Okay, so the subject of dog tax has come up. And we did some research and this is what we found, which is kind of odd. The dog tax has an ordinance that was set up in 2006. That is because the state of Indiana did away with the dog tax in that year. It's really, and we have not been following the ordinance. So citizens have to pay $5 per dog. And we're not collecting very much money with the money that we're putting out. So right now, the fund looks like it has money in it because of the initial dump of money in 2017. But it's not sustaining itself. It's negative every year. So we're giving the Humane Society to $5,000 for housing the strays that come in. And we're giving the treasurer's office the printing money for the tax bills. And we don't have very many citizens paying the dog tax, so it's not balancing out. So it's not doing what it's supposed to do. In the ordinance, we're supposed to, all the money that we gather from the dog tax, 20% is supposed to go to Purdue Extension. And we haven't done that since 2018. 3% is supposed to be set aside in an account line for livestock. So if a dog attacks a cow or a horse, we're supposed to help pay for that, and we're not doing that. 1% is supposed to be set aside for rabies exposure if a stray dog bites somebody. And then the balance is supposed to pay the animal control officer's salary. And we have never contributed to that salary. So in my research, we thought it was the commissioner's purview to cancel or look into it. It's actually the council's.
Okay.
So we will continue researching and get on the council agenda to be about repealing that tax. It's not doing what it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's costing us money. And it's taxing the taxpayers several times. You have some that pay and you have some that don't, but everybody, the money is all, 5,000 is going into the Humane Society, and I love the Humane Society. I don't want anybody to think I don't. That's not what this is about. It's just about making sure that if we are having a tax that's following the proper procedures and it's doing what it's supposed to, and this one is not.
So we have an ordinance that collects money that we don't manage,
Correct.
administer, and, okay. And then also in humans, don't we have $50,000?
We do have $50,000 that we give them every year, and then we give them 20,000 for stay at your program. And then this is on top of that. And I also noticed in the research with their board meeting, they vote to give the Humane Society $5,000 every year. And I'm not sure how we deviated from the ordinance to that vote. It probably is same as last time. We do that a lot around here. So that's probably what's happened.
Okay,
One year that's probably had some cash in it. They gave it $5,000 and it's just continued.
okay, thank you.
Any questions on that? No.
Any fans out there of the dog tax? Yeah. Apparently.
My name is Darlene Meyer. Is this on?
No, probably not. Make sure you talk into it though.
My name is Darlene Meyer and I live here in town. I didn't originally come for this, but I did pay $5. Well, when I got it, part of your property tax bill, right? There's a
It's
little
on it.
message, you have $5 for each animal. And I thought, so do I have to pay this? Should I pay this? It was more of, I felt like I should, but there wasn't anything that said, well, if I don't pay it, nothing's gonna happen.
Correct.
And so that's why you're not getting the $5. Like people are like, well, I'm paying enough property tax. I'm not gonna pay this $5 for the dog. So I could see why you're only collecting part of, because there's,
It's going down every year.
yeah, because people are like, I'm not paying. What are they gonna do about it? They don't even know I have a dog or whatever. So I could see that check and balance.
And I talked to the sheriff today, who's in the back of the room. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brad, but $5, there's no teeth in this tax.
Right.
$5 is not going to pay the officer and the services and all of that admin process, so it doesn't even.
The only way that I was sitting there thinking is the local veterinary, where your address is, if you're in Brown County, then I don't know if it's on Baker, but.
It's a lot of gas. We just need to try to get figure out which way they want to go forward, because
So I understand why you're not collecting it,
Yeah.
because there's nothing, so what, is somebody walking around making sure you have a day for your dog?
in those funds, because those projects are coming out of other funds, which is the other issue that hit us, so we'll address it and bring it up with the council. Have that discussion, what we're gonna do. Okay. All right, contractual services, we got quite a few. Kevin, you want to kick off?
Sure. So this is basically the typical round is, we had in our last meeting, we went through and selected a quote for providing, the necessary power for the new lift station not required for the pressurized sewer system going in in Nashville. And that service is going to be for the law enforcement center and the other facilities around there. This is the formal contract award, and then we will go through and I think if I'm not mistaken, I had a brief summary. I have to reiterate. I think it's $12,000 is what was awarded or selected on that.
Correct.
Second. So in that, I'm making a motion that we accept the contract and approve it and move forward with that installation.
A second.
Roll call?
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
All right, next one, contract with courthouse door replacements.
Yes, so as part of the updates and then enhancing the security related to the clerk's office, there was a request that we basically move the door that opens to the hall, and then in addition to that, take one of the gates that we removed from the corrections area, it's a security half gate, and place that in the clerk's office. There have been a few instances where people have been coming around the end of the counter into the clerk's area. No incidents as far as violent, anything of that nature, but there is a sign that says, do not proceed past this point. So, reusing some of basically there's not a lot of material involved in this because it exists, it's there, it's manpower. And since we had Steve Miller do which we'll be finalizing in the end of this week or next, the installation or the construction for the courthouse, corrections offices, he will take on and start next week to install those systems to the tune of $2,880. So I'm making a motion that we approve that contract issuance so he can get started on Monday, the 11th.
A second.
Roll call?
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes. All right, the third one, law enforcement center.
So we have a lot of stuff going on in law enforcement center. They've been kind of neglected here in the last few years. The first one that we're dealing with is the boiler that's been in place since the beginning of since the original construction of that building. That boiler is at its end of life, and that we cannot find parts on the market. The company that built that boiler is no longer around. And then we have our service guys spending countless hours on eBay trying to find parts to keep it running. So the contract that is here and the bid that we have in place for that, we received 3 bids for that. And the contract was $7,000. The Total Mechanical did $73,250. SR Mechanical was $58,832.50. And Dunlap, which is a local contractor out of Columbus, gave us a bid of $49,800. So I propose that we proceed with the low bid, and in addition to that, approve the contract that we have based on Dunlap's quote that was prepared.
So you made a motion.
Motion to accept that quote and
Okay.
sign the contract.
See replacement cost. Is that the water heater below it?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll go ahead and second the motion for Dunlap at 49,000 even.
49th, actually, it's a completely one, Ron, you're looking at the water heater, there's another one there in front of you. That's for straight up 49,800.
Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. I'm not saying it. This 49, how much is it?
49,800.
That's fine. I'll second.
Okay,
Okay,
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim,
yes.
Kevin,
yes.
All right, the next one, preventive maintenance contract on generators.
Actually, there's a second one there for the law enforcement center. It's replacement of the water heater that Ron was just
Okay.
talking about.
So we just approved the boiler.
We just
Okay.
approved the
I
boiler.
got it. So.
So the next one that is being looked at here with regards to the law enforcement center is the hot water. There are 2 250-gallon hot water heaters in the jail that basically provide all the hot water services to the prison area along with the building itself. One of those hot water heaters has been leaking and is in disrepair for several months now. We went out and sought quotes for 3 companies, one from CMR, one from HFI, and one from Dunlap. Basically the work is to take out the original water heater, and the original quote was to replace 4 like. But as we continued our discussions through our contract, our construction manager, they basically identified that Dunlap was actually able to meet our needs above and beyond what they had quoted by providing us with a high efficiency water heater of 98%, along with the mixing valve that was also problematic in the existing system. So CMR gave us a quote for $59,750. HFI gave us a quote for $71,130, and Dunlap, the light replacement was $49,000. But as I just mentioned, they're able to provide a higher efficiency in the mixing valve for $45,900. So I have a contract here, so I believe, I'm making a motion that we accept the quote for $45,900 and approve and sign off on the contract for that amount.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call?
Tim,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Okay, and now the preventive maintenance.
So now the preventative maintenance, we tried to get 3 quotes on this. So in essence, there are 6 generators in the county that need to be maintained. Typical of us is to have a semi-annual, which is basically a basic inspection, check the fluids, make sure that it starts, make sure that it's running and those kinds of things. And then there's a second inspection that takes place that goes through and does the overall maintenance of the actual machine, replacing oil filters and whatever is necessary under that contract. We were only able to get 2 quotes for this. One was from Evapar and one was from a company in Edinburgh called Meg. Both of those are under 7x24 support, and they are willing to provide those 2 services. But however, Evapar came in lower at $6,225, where Meg was $9,645. So I'm making a recommendation, or I'm making a motion to accept the 6225 from Evapar and sign the contract so they can move this work forward.
And this is for 1 year.
This is for a 1-year contract, correct?
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Next one, another generator for the corner.
Yes. So as the coroner's office has not been in place for very long, I believe it was built in the last year or so, there are 2 coolers that are used to house the deceased. In the instances where we have situations where there has to be additional investigation done or testing that has to be done, those coolers cannot and should not be sitting there unpowered. And we have had some very bad weather this year, but we've actually lost power in town. Fortunately, we haven't had those coolers malfunction, nor were there anyone available for them. So this generator is an off-the-shelf generator. So in the conversation with our attorney, the recommendation is we don't need to go through and do a quote because it's an off-the-shelf product. And that off-the-shelf product is a Generac system that we're proposing to put in at 26,000 watts. And the recommendation has been that we proceed buying it from Menards for $6,699. And that work will be done by our maintenance people to install that machine and get it up and running. So I'm making a motion that we accept their proposal to purchase that directly from Menards for $6,699.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call?
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. Next, the road grader repair.
Yes.
Replacement.
So our highway department has had a broken down road grader for what now, Eric? 3 months, 3 weeks? 3 weeks. As we all know, majority of our roads in this county, or a lot of our roads in this county are gravel. So we are not able to maintain the roads to a higher standard without having 2 graders. The original proposal was that we were going to go through and do the repair, but this particular machine is a 2012 and has almost 7,000 hours on it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's 6,776 hours. So the recommendation or the concern was, or the initial money spent to get an evaluation of that from Westside Tractor was, it was going to take roughly $41,500 to repair that machine. Well, as we sit and look through the information, the actual retail value or the average seen around in the market for that machine was around $83,000. Well, my concern is that it's over 13 years old, has that many hours on it. So we investigated to see if we could proceed forward and use the funds that were originally, or have been identified to go with a new purchase on, a road grader to replace that one. And the problem is if we did fix the machine, we would be using Rayman parts, aftermarket parts, and only have warranty for a period of 6 months on the parts itself, no labor. So I see a lot of risk associated with that. So in looking at the evaluation we have in place in our budget for this year, and the plan was, if we had an issue with the road grader, replace that road grader with new, because we typically have a 5 to 7 year plan on equipment. So the new number, which I'm struggling to find here. Let me borrow that. Sorry. So the new number, so the recommendation is, if we have in a budget, it's going to be the similar model that we have. It's going to end up having a 12-month unlimited warranty. It's going to be purchased with the 5-year extended warranty, which for 5,000 hours. Preventative maintenance is included that. The overall total price on that would be $385,142.36, and that would be purchased through a lease, which is typical for us. And typical, what hadn't been typical, but we would go forward with, is having a buyout of that machine at the end of that contract for $1. So we would have 5 lease payments at $300,000 and a down payment that needs to be done for $85,142.36. So I'm basically making a recommendation that we allow Eric at the Highway Department to proceed forward with the lease agreement and purchase and get on order the new grader.
Hold up just a second. Okay, the repair cost is 41.5.
Correct.
Didn't they offer a trade-in on that, or am I missing something you said?
So the overall trade-in would be $33,000. And that's included in the numbers that are below.
Okay, so the 33,000, if you add that to the 41, that'd be like, what, 74,000 or something? We're gonna, by not spending the repair and buy the trade-in of the old one, we're gonna get what, 74,000 out of a broke down piece of equipment?
So
They
basically
say-
it's
Let's say
there.
41,000.
So
Let's say 41,000. $500 and get a trade-in of 33,000. So we're basically moving that money, instead of the repair, and we're gonna move that money toward a new lease.
yes,
If we trade it in the way it sits now, we save about $3,500 in labor costs that they've already cost us
How
right
many
now.
hours?
We've got about $3,500 in labor
Oh, 3,500.
right now
for the tear down and inspection.
that they're not gonna charge us if we trade it in.
What sounds reasonable? What are you saying exactly? You're wanting to make the motion to approve buying this now?
Yep.
Yeah, well, broke down road grader don't do us no good.
Correction.
Yeah, you need to correct what you said. It's 300,000 divided by 5.
Correct.
60,000
Which
for
is
payment.
60. You said 300,000 a year,
Payment.
Divided by 5, which is 60,000. Sorry.
60,000 a year.
Yeah, you about gave me a heart attack.
Let's go 5 different payments at 60,000 each.
This is the down.
That's what's been budgeted.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm there now.
That's the down.
I was
Sorry, didn't realize I threw that confusion out there.
It's nothing compared to what I do sometimes. I'll second.
All right, roll call.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Okay,
And
next.
that confuses my mind.
It does. Okay, next issue is the Access Bryan County, matching a rural transit, grant. The amount is $7,991. Again, it's a match, it's a pass through for us. Any questions?
No, this is just a simply quarterly activity that's with Access Brown County.
Nothing on that there. I can see you want.
Come on, Ken.
No, this is the quarterly claim for our operation, so the pass-through is for 29,000.
Okay, 29,325.
Yeah, so it just.
For request.
Yeah, it comes in from INDOT.
And then we apply the local match. That's what I threw out. Thanks for clarifying that. For the 7,000. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion that we approve as presented.
Done, second.
29,000 what?
325.
625?
Three.
And that's just a pass through. We're not actually paying that.
No.
Okay, yeah, I'll second.
Roll call.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim,
Yes. Just a heads up, our cleaning contract expires at in October. They're not gonna
Actually, he's August.
in August.
He's actually going to end services at the end of this month.
Yeah.
That's a change.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'd be putting out a bid for a new cleaning contract, and we'll go out to the different department heads and ask for their specific requirements on before we tailor that RFP. So I'm just giving you that's kind of a surprise there, I think. Okay. Salt Creek Trail feasibility study on the highway on 46, Kim?
Yep.
Anybody, you guys want to brief, or Mark, you guys want to brief that?
Sandy?
Okay, well, let's see, as far as the Salt Creek Trail, as most of you know, we've had the trail committee up and running in the past. This was disbanded for a few years. We're looking at reinstating that, now, just in the last several months. We initially broke ground, put in the first phase of the trail back in 2013, I believe. So we're over the 10-year mark now. Just a couple years ago, we put in phase 2, which was the DNR phase, connecting the state park to the Red Barn. There, and as most of you know, that incorporated the bridges that NDOT gave to us for that project. So for the last couple of years, we've been looking at, okay, now we have 2 sections of the trail. How do we make those congruent? We've been exploring several different options. The original route that we had talked about years ago, we explored that extensively, basically with changes in regulations with DNR and FEMA. We cannot do the original route that we had planned, creating a bridge going from just past the YMCA, crossing over and continuing kind of on the north side, south side, sorry, there along the creek. So what we're looking at this point is just exploring what options that we have that's still available for connecting those 2 phases. So what we're looking at now, we've talked with Butler, Fairman, Seaford, who we've worked with in the past, about looking at a feasibility study that would look at a couple different options. What we're focusing on right now is looking at NDOT's right-of-way along 46 there. We had met previously with a few of the landowners that are between the Red Barn property and the state park. There was interest from some, no interest from others. So we're trying to respect the desires of the landowners. So as I say, at this point, we're looking at options on how we can piece those 2 together. The original goal and intent on that is to bring visitors from the state park into Nashville without having to, allow people to commute. They have an RV, so on and so forth. They can walk, they can ride a bike. So that's what we're looking at. What we had decided previously as the Salt Creek Trail Committee was to look at allocating up to $20,000 for this feasibility study. Again, survey that area, see if it's even something that is possible or if we need to go a complete different direction. The money that we're looking to use, this $20,000 that we would allocate, that money is from the Brown County Community Foundation's Salt Creek Trail Fund. Sorry, the pass-through fund, thank you. That the Trail Committee had raised years ago. So just to reiterate, that money, in essence, was raised by the Trail Committee. There's no tax dollars, no county money that's involved in this project. So that's pretty much it. Yes, thank you. Glad you're up here.
I'm just,
So she's keeping me on track. Just a final note here, what we're looking at with this contract with Butler, Fairman, Seaford, the commissioners are the owners of the trail. So therefore, that's why we would need your blessing and then the commissioners' names on the contract. Okay. All right, Ron, did you have a question?
And my understanding is that DNR is not wanting any bridges across the creek.
Correct.
So that would also apply on the other side, down on the other side of the trail that's actually in play right now. The one that goes from the Y to the, what is it, CBS. There'd been talk about extending it from there out to Deer Run. So in the future, it sounds like they're not even not interested in no bridges across the creek.
Not necessarily. Just from what I've understood, in conversations. So basically where DNR is now, anywhere where there was not a previous existing bridge, they do not want to look at implementing a bridge there that would affect the flow, the current, the backwater, of the creek. So for instance, where we were looking at previously, crossing the creek, that was fine years ago. Since then, DNR has tightened the restrictions. So that's where, that's still a potential option, but we're talking a lot of money in more studies, more engineering. So that's something that at this point isn't really going to be feasible for us. But the bridge that you're mentioning, if we were to look at this route along 46, that bridge would basically be parallel and mirror the existing highway bridge, which is existing. So that wouldn't be incorporating a bridge somewhere where there hasn't been one previously. That's been my understanding from communications with DNR.
The other thing is, if I've been given a copy of this contract,
We're not doing anything with it today.
nothing happened.
No. They've still got, it sounds like you guys still have work that needs to be put together
There's a,
before there's
No.
We need the contract
No.
so that we can move forward with all of it.
today.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Okay, we ran this by Mike Mogan, I think probably some slipped through our cracks. We ran back Mike had some minor changes, they had an upgrade on the amount of money on 20,000, so we made the changes, added the change, and again, Mike approved it, so we're good to go on that one. Again, it's not our money, it's kind of a pass through, and again, approved by our legal, so.
Right.
I'll entertain a motion.
Now I'll make a motion that we approve the contract and sign it as it's presented.
Okay, second. I'll second. Roll call.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Ron, how do you vote?
No,
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes. Okay,
thank you.
thank you guys. Thanks for the update. Okay, next item on the agenda. Interesting topic. Owner occupied rehab grant. The council approved the matching part of that. It's 500,000 up to 25,000 per household. We could accept maybe 35 applications, and Teresa, I'll turn it over to you. You've done a lot of phenomenal work on getting the word out on this opportunity.
Currently, we want to remind everybody, we've had applications turned in already. You can turn them in now if you'd like. We do have some online and some paper. We are putting the word out to several locations in the town. If you want some flyers, come see me. I will get you more flyers to pass out. This is the county's agreed for 55,000 is what we've agreed to match for the grant. Like Tim said, we're figuring about 25,000 per household, 30 to 35 households. The commissioners made an amendment to it to not have the homeowner stay in the house. A normal HUD, you get money from HUD, you do the work and you have to live there for 10 years, 5 years. That is not a requirement in this. There are 4 major categories: roof replacement, HVAC, water heater, and ADA assistance. So, anything else?
No, I
Any
mean,
questions? Does anybody have any questions? I've tried to get it out to everybody. Kevin?
yeah, not necessarily, but what do you have?
Mike, please.
Hi, I'm Kevin Allen, been around here a lot, here in Brown County, and I'm with Aegis. And I'd like to remind people and we've been trying to get this off the ground ourselves. There is a federal program that we are administering statewide that is very similar to this, that you can pair with the Oprah grant that you're currently going after. Okay. I brought a few flyers. I'll be happy to get a lot more of these to you on the website. This is active right now. This is what they call the Indiana Energy Saver Program. There are probably 7 out of 10 items that overlap with the Oprah application. There's $182 million available for residents in Indiana. This costs the county nothing. We just need your help to make homeowners aware of it. And we're doing this in several other counties, including Jay County, where we're all partnering with the Oprah grant so that, say, the Oprah grant can pay for a new furnace. Okay, this program can pay for a new furnace. This program cannot pay for ADA ramp or structural roof repair. So the goal here is don't spend Oprah money on appliances, basically. Use this program. Stretch that Oprah dollars so you can get more homes for ADA and roof. The 3 things that this program doesn't touch.
Okay.
So I saw the application and that I'm glad that you're doing it. And I just want to be sure that the community knows that there is a way to stretch those dollars. So instead of 30, 35 homes, maybe you can double that, because this 182 million is statewide. There is no allocation by county or community. First come, first serve. The homeowner, we have a website set up right now. The individual homeowner can go on there and see if they qualify. Yes, it is an income base and all that stuff. But
And my understanding, Kevin, is that it's not, there's no matching required on it,
No.
correct?
no, only thing we ask of the communities that we're working in is help us get the word in.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a very successful way to stretch those Oprah dollars. And like I said, there's no limit on how many people can apply here in the county. There's no limit of dollars that go to Brown County or to Nashville in particular. First come, first serve, 182 million statewide,
When's the cutoff, Kevin?
until the money's gone.
Until the money's gone, okay.
Yeah, so this could take 5-6 years to spend the 182 million. Depends on how many people sign up, how fast they sign up. All he does is with, but we'll have more as many as you need.
I need a lot.
Yeah,
And I'll take the effort. You shared your link with me. I'll share that with Teresa. Don't have.
And we posted the flyer on our website as well.
Site and application and the fact sheet. Ours, currently, we're having a public hearing on August 11th. So I encourage everybody to come in and we'll throw that in there with it.
I'll probably talk to you tomorrow, but
Okay.
I will not be in Indiana that day, that week. Unfortunately, I would be there to help explain it.
Okay.
Okay.
And Whitney will be here for the public hearing on this grant.
Yes.
It starts at 5 o'clock, this room, and we'll leverage what we're doing with this one with your program as well, so everybody will know. We're not guaranteed to win the application. We got to apply for it.
Correct.
If we get it, great. If not, we'll apply for the next time, but we'll have a pool of applicants. At the same time, we can help market your program as well.
But keep in mind, so this one is ready to go and it's active right now. So far, I think we've had over 1,500 applicants statewide so far.
Okay,
So it's ready to go.
okay. Well, I don't think you could give Teresa enough brochures.
Yeah.
I think she's made the rounds for probably a dozen different organizations. We
Yeah.
did social media and trying to get
Handedly increased our.
single-handedly, yeah.
Just a quick question here. I remember seeing an email, I believe it was from the council president, and they had asked, Brown County Community Foundation, something about $27,500. I don't know if there's been a response or.
No, there hasn't. I don't think they got them the letter yet, have they, John?
No, we received a letter and then literally under the wire in time for the last board meeting, and we have 4 active asks. The the same timeframe. So, we were gathering board member input for, exec committee discussion next Wednesday. And then a board discussion and decision with housing company. So we're 2 meetings out, but it's on the agenda.
Thank you.
Next item, early voting location. As I understand, all we know, Mark, you need it from us as a vote. It does, why?
So as we've been doing, and since this has been an ongoing thing since earlier this year, and Mr. Sanders pointed out earlier this year that there was a room over at the fairgrounds that may meet our needs, and I'm like, the information I got was it was heated but not cooled. Well, I did a follow-up meeting to look at the exhibition hall, which was one of the lists on buildings on the list of the election board is requesting access to that facility. And in that conversation and meeting with Mark, he actually said, no, the room that Ron is meeting or talking about actually is heated and cooled. So, after spending a great deal of time in the community trying to get various churches and organizations to help, check this facility out. It is in essence the rear area. So there are two, next to the exhibition hall is, I don't know what we call that building. It's the performance hall or whatever. Stage.
Okay.
Building. The room in the back of that where they do all of the prep for anything music related, any of that. Given the timeline, according to Mark Stardo, and he is already working on cleaning that facility up. The election board has looked at it. So it's been Kelly and Mark and Perlita. And there's a few things that we'll have to do. There's some need with regards to security to do that and lighting updates, not huge fixes to make it work. So the proposal, and I submit to the board that we utilize that as the early voting location for the next year's election in the primary and the general election in 2026.
That's a general election motion.
It's both. Yeah, so once we use it once for the primary, it has to be the same location for the general.
Would that can pass as a voting center in the future? A location for what?
I think it could, but we'll have to see how it works out this time around. I'll leave it to the hands, and if Mark, you want to make a comment on that, it'd be appreciated.
The distinction is this is not up to be a voting center, but it's the satellite clerk's office to hold early voting in. So it'll be operating right up until election day when the vote centers will operate, but it's really not part of the vote center plan, other than to acknowledge that it's there.
So she'll be working out of there election day?
Yeah.
Not open necessarily. We haven't even got to the voter center thing, but
On election day, we'll tabulate the votes in that building. So that'll be where the election board will be unless we're called out for something that day.
Okay. It just replaces Eagle Park. So
It's the space is much better than the Eagle Park space. And there's a good deal of right up close paved parking for voters with disabilities. So it's a good location.
and kudos to Kevin. I think he probably investigated half dozen different sites and the pros and cons in each one. And I think one of our concerns is not only having enough space, but the parking is another big deal. So kudos on Kevin and kudos on Ron for identifying this opportunity as well. So
We appreciate the work done on this very much.
so thank you guys.
So my motion still stands to approve that as a early vote location.
I'll go ahead and second.
Okay, roll call.
Ron, how do you vote?
Yes.
Tim, how do you vote?
Yes.
Kevin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. All right, the next item, just information. I wish we had ray of sunshine coming down and shining on our book. This is like the first ever Brown County, Indiana capital asset plan. It lists all the properties that we've responsible for maintaining. There's probably about 50. And it identifies initially an assessment on the different properties, maintenance kind of issues, The point of the plan pretty much is identify not only maintenance, preventive maintenance, annual costs, but repairs and replacements. For instance, we'll be replacing, the goal is to replace the prosecutor's office with a swap with Nashville. I mean, that's been talked about forever. And this is the kind of plan where you identify those things and you don't put it off for 20 years. You have a plan and you work it. That'll identify, as we go through that, we've got immediate needs, but also you identify repairs, replacements, capital improvements. That's translated from here to a capital improvement plan. That identifies unfunded requirements. That requires you to identify priorities and budgeting. So a whole new thing. We've never really identified unfunded requirements for these kinds of things. So that's a new thing for us, which is a needed thing. And so we're making pretty good progress on that. And the other part of this is basically your audit trail for our insurance policy as well. So we've just started, if you think about a building metaphor, this is like a foundation to a 2-story building, and we just started. This is just the concrete footers. And so we keep building on that. It's a living document. We keep adding to it, refining it, and improving it. And again, it links to our insurance. So we're basically having the insurance to capture the value of our properties. This was put together by our owner's technical rep or our project manager. It's a new capability we had here. We had a separate contract. A lot of his costs are funded out of the GO bond, and then we pick up the others, but well worth it. Glad we're doing it. I think taxpayers be glad we're doing it. No more surprises during the year that, oops, we need $1 million for something. And so we're trying to identify that in advance and then plan for it, budget for it. So big improvement, I think, from the county. That's that. Teresa, anything from your side?
Not really.
Okay. Eric, Highway Department?
Not much. So Country Club Bridge 111 finally underway. Some good progress going on. A little bit of weather delay last week, but moving right along. They poured one of the south abutments this morning. So it's one of the biggest abutments I've seen on the Country Club. I've seen poured, yep. So projected timeline, we're looking around November to be hopefully open back up. So good project going there. We got local advertisements out for our local paving. They're advertised right now. We're looking at opening those up hopefully the next meeting. Hopefully we get some good bids in for that so we can get some local paving done. So we got that going on. Our new trucks in Indianapolis getting worked on now. So hopefully that'll be done by the end of September. Lightning loader's working out good so far. New updates for CCMG, still unclear. A lot of news going on about that. I've got several meetings and discussions, but they're doing a call in October. Kind of a weird thing they've never done. It's an October call, but it's for 2026. So it looks like they're doing 2 calls next year for 26. One will be October this year and one will be in July.
That's a community crossings.
Correct, community crossings grant. Looks like it's going to be capped off at $1 million instead of $1.5 million. We'll see. More news yet to come. So,
So I understand on that too, Eric, is they actually changed the match on
they
that.
changed the match from 75-25 to 80-20. So we're a little bit better for us, our community size. So we'll get a little bit more funding out of that $1 million. So with that project for October, we're looking at hopefully pushing the Hoover Bridge project, Bridge 20. It's ready to go. So not quite the timeline we wanted, but hopefully still this, towards the end of this year, beginning early next year. So.
Which one is Bridge 20?
That is Hoover, right by Hoover and Sweetwater.
Okay, the
So
one that we thought was gonna be before Mount Liberty.
it will be, yes.
Not
Yeah,
20.
we were expecting that second call this year for CCMG.
Yeah, we were
2025, but
We
they
were hoping to have that in July, that second call in July, that we would already be in construction. Well, it was gonna be a winter project this year, which it's still gonna be a late winter project. Hopefully the ideal would be to have it awarded in December and construction start in January.
Well, help my confusion here. It's 20 ahead of 91.
Correct. Yeah, we fast tracked, so at Bridge 111 and Bridge 20, we're already in the engineering and design stages. Those had already started previously before me. So those have been with USI. We'd already been paying for those services.
What's the projection on start time for 91?
91, we're working through that contract now, so looks like if we get that contract sorted out and everything goes good, then we can start that project, engineering, design, all through the end of 25 and 26. Hopefully by the end of 26, we're ready to bid, and then 27, we can go CCMG, and that bridge construction will be in 27 with CCMG. That way we can fund it.
And this particular bridge is not gonna be quite as challenging, I think, as we did with the Country Club Bridge, because there's the right of way stuff is in much better shape. I think.
Well, it's straight, so
It's straight.
we won't have that. We don't have to
We don't
shift,
have
we
to
don't have to
straighten.
shift the road. We do have some utilities and stuff in there, but yeah, so.
And so the 20th is when we're looking at that, just the engineering contract, coming forth.
Yeah, hopefully that's all negotiated back and forth and that's done and we can get that wrapped up on the 20th. We're also looking to open bids for our local paving in 20th. So a few things coming up the next meeting. Okay. Thank you, Eric. Yep, thanks.
Rest of the agenda, I've kind of identified our key items for August 20th. One, that's going to be the Mountain T State Forest proposal or contract. Couple appointments, and I also identified ordinances that are upcoming for September 3rd, 17th, and the 15th. So just give you a heads up. Finally, alibis, anything? I know we covered a lot of stuff and went pretty quick and threw out a lot of numbers. Any follow-up questions from the audience? Any additional information you'd like on what we covered? Anything on the agenda that you want to bring up?
Yeah,
Anything on this agenda that we talked at the meeting?
yes.
All right.
What you were just talking about, what we just covered in the meeting. My name's Christina Sides, and, I never worked in road work, but I used to run Warner Enterprises Trucking Terminal in Indianapolis. But I work on Old 46, and yesterday I was driving along and came up over the hill by Parkview there and saw that the highway department was working over there, but there weren't any warning signs up that there was road work ahead, and one of the workers was, like, here's the, like, the edge of the road line, and they were in the road, and, I'm concerned, that somebody could get hurt. I also had somebody approach me the other day, because we work in the community. They said that they had come up on some road work being done, and there was, instead of a flagger being out, they just had a county highway department truck parked like sideways in the middle of the road, holding a sign outside of the window. So I know in regards to DOT regulations, I mean, I was required to do monthly safety meetings. Are we doing that here? Are we having regular safety meetings? I know you guys have said in the past, personnel issues, but I just keep having people come to me saying that they're concerned for safety or there is a warning. Are we, like, I know we have a lot of new employees. What kind of training are we doing in regards to safety?
Okay. We're not going to address operational issues at this particular meeting, but I'll take your input and we'll follow up with your concerns. So thank you.
Yeah, and I do want to note, Tim, because this seems to be an ongoing issue, but when there is a problem resolution, as noted in 110 in the handbook, it says that the proper procedure here is first an oral complaint, then a written complaint, and then step 3 is the county commissioners. And so my question for you is, if all of those have been exhausted and nothing's being done, what would you suggest that people do?
Chrissy, we're not going to discuss
Well,
operational or management
that's
issues at this meeting.
convenient for you to say you're not going to
that's
discuss
not
it, but
the
you're
point.
not responding to phone calls, voicemail,
That's not,
emails, messages.
that's not.
And I have screenshot. It is the point because it's your job. Again,
That's not the point of this particular meeting, and we'll take your concerns and.
so you said on January 5th that you would take my concerns, but here it is August, and I've heard nothing. So when do you plan to address those?
Is this something that you can address quickly, Eric?
It's safety. I don't want to see any citizens in the county dead. Plain and simple. It's basic safety management 101. I'm concerned.
You raised.
Are you considering this the first step
So let me.
No, I'm
clarify
considering
that.
this a 8-month-long no response to a 19-page formal complaint letter that you received on March 27th.
That's personnel.
certified mail.
Personnel issue,
Christie.
we're not.
No,
Who
that-
discusses it? Kevin,
You cannot bring that up in this meeting.
where do I bring it up, Kevin? Because you don't
brought it
respond
up.
to
There are
emails.
things going forward.
You don't
can't have-
respond to emails, you don't respond to voicemails, you don't respond to certified letters. When do you respond?
That, we cannot respond to that because you are bringing forth various kinds of things that fall under confidential executive session actions. And we cannot discuss that with you.
So we just wait?
Correct, you wait for the process to work through. You initiated action, we're following through on behalf of the
Are you
county.
following through on all of your processes from all
All your
entities, not
complaints.
just not just the county level,
We
but
can't talk
better
about
up.
that, Christine.
That's 3 minutes are up.
yeah, last
You've
time you
got your-
interrupted me
you've
48
got your
seconds
written
in. Can I
complaints.
go back and watch it?
We've got your written complaints and we're dealing with it. So thank you very much.
I have a record of
Stand.
all the
Got it.
complaints
Thank you.
and screenshots. Thank you.
Guys, I suggest we do address it, not necessarily in this meeting, but I suggest we have an executive session and get a plan. And
Well, you know, we can't talk about that because.
I'm not talking about it. I'm saying something about having an executive session to talk about it.
Doesn't just
Is
go
that
away,
right?
Tim,
Mike, are you up there, sir?
and it won't.
Yes.
Am I out of line here asking for an executive session to talk about this?
No, you're not online. You may ask for executive session. That is something you can talk about now or offline.
Fine, we need to schedule an executive session and talk about this and see if we can fix some of these questions, answer some of them. Do something because it's starting to wear on everybody and the new commissioners, we need to work through this. We work for the people. So thank you, sir. Let's leave it at that. Are you wanting to add something to that, sir? You're standing there to Mike.
I join you. Yeah, are you done?
No, I've got something to do with something on the agenda.
Okay, sir.
Going back to the coroner and the generator, I was a little confused there. 6,700 was the quote on the generator.
66.99.
Well, thank you. And that's for a 12 kW, right?
That is for a 26 kW.
26, okay. That seem, and I'm not, I guess my question, it seems awfully low for that amount. And will that also cover the transfer switch? And then our people, I'm assuming you've already.
Which we already have.
There, okay. So is there a generator on site now?
No, unless it's portable.
So then we'll have to add the transfer switch and then our people are capable of.
Yes.
Thank you, thank you. That's,
And
it seems like an awfully good price.
it will be a natural gas, correct?
Correct.
The natural gas is already run for that location.
Cause my 8,000 for my RV was $9,000. That's why I wondered.
Well, that's what the rich people pay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. You're welcome.
That's a good price. Appreciate you addressing that.
Okay. Hey, Mike, it's over to you. Any final comments?
No, nothing else to add. Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
you gotta have a motion.
Has anybody else got anything else at all? You got one more person?
Dina Patrick, I'm sorry, I know you want to get out of here. On the ongoing things, I noticed on the county comprehensive plan, it says target date August 2025. I know that you want to get more input on that, and I know you were at the BZA meeting last week, Mr. Clark. ABC and BZA meetings, one of the things that they mentioned frequently during those two meetings were tourist homes. And that the ISDH had come in and said that tourist homes in Indiana, July 1st, need to start having commercial grade septic systems. And ISDH was shocked at the number of tourist homes in Brown County that are on septic systems. And I know that to some degree that is addressed in the comp plan that was presented to you by APC. But I don't know that it was, in enough detail, and I know that you want to get into those
things because we are losing so many houses that people could bring their families and live in to the tourist home industry. And, ISDH has said that most counties are restricting the numbers and are more restrictive in their ordinances. And one of the things that Mr. Dilberger said in the BZA meeting last week when we had a tourist home on the schedule was it was about 20 to 50 feet too close to another. But it says, the language says should be X number of feet in the zoning ordinance. So I just don't know, where are we on the comp plan as far as getting more public input so that we can make sure that we have the right systems in place for the tourist homes in the comp plan. So when they write the zoning ordinances, perhaps we can be a little bit more restrictive and maybe cut down on the number of tourist homes being one.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the intent is, we've applied for that rural empowerment and development grant, from Oakland Ball State, and doesn't cost us anything. And part of that is basically getting community input, for the future of the county, what people want as far as a vision for the county, representing all the various interest groups. Part of that also is they got support for various projects. I think they identified in their brochures or whatever, like 15 different projects for different things. This thing on tourist homes would be a project. I mean, that would take an additional level of analysis to drill down on tourist homes. Because if we throw it out saying, oh, we got too many. Well, what's too many? And so, yeah, we probably have more than anyone in the state, let's say, but we're tourist kind of community. That's a big part. That's a part of our economic base anyway. So to me, when we do those kinds of projects, we drill down to a little more detail, the pros and the cons of different ones, the locations, what other counties are doing, and have a comprehensive assessment of what the issues are, so we can make informed decisions and inform people on why we're making those changes. And so that's the intent. And again, this red grant, we should know, they said in August. I'm guessing by the third week is my guess on August. If we don't get that, then we'll have a plan B to accomplish the same thing. Need to have community input, need to have a little more detail on these projects. I hate this hip pocket, pull it out from somewhere and say, gee whiz, we ought to do this or we ought to do that. Ought to be a little more detail, a little more analysis supporting those decisions. I'm just not a reactive firefighting type of person.
Your main word that I caught out of that was the word should. And this conversation goes back 20 some years. Should is open. That gives them leg room or movable room. The word that stops that is must. So like you said, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Laura Lestrade, one quick question. I want to ask who your two appointments are that you're looking at for the health board, if you can give that out. I'm the chair of the Brown County Democratic Central Committee, and I was aware that we had two interested and one had retracted. So I'm curious as to the names of those.
We have two. The second one's John Simpson, and then we're working through requirements on his qualifications, and then
Christy Crandall.
Christy Crandall was the other one. So we're still down to two. We'll make a decision at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right.
Thank you.
Meeting.
What did you get it figured out?
What do I do now?
They're trouble. Because I started thinking that.
I should have known.